Boom. We are live. Hey, everyone. Welcome to ZLS number 029. There's the banner. With Lars. Lars comes back for his second appearance on ZLS. Lars, it was so great having you last time. We had to edge you for a second. How you doing, man?
Very good. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me back. And we will both be learning some things today.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. We're wandering into deno land, and I spent a little bit last night trying to figure some things out. And one of the first things I came across was an article by Lars on in depth. Let me go ahead and share that here in share screen. There we go. Let me get rid of that. There's a short-lived overlay. But Lars, you had a really great article on the overview of the deno CLI. So lots of stuff that I learned from this doc. One of them was that deno has its own test runner, which I thought was that was kind of neat. Kind of neat to see that come in. And I learned from you. Well, I probably could have learned from this too, but there's also linting and formatting built in with deno. So crazy. It's
and the package manager as well. So
yeah,
basically.
Well, how does the package manager work? How does the package manager work?
Yeah. So yeah, this is one of the main differences with Node, right? That npm kind of became the de facto standard for Node.js, and we were kind of worried for a while that npm inc would sync, but then Microsoft through GitHub went and bought it, so I think it's pretty safe now. But deno wanted to get rid of that centralized management for package management, so you can basically install from any URL. I mean, you don't even have to install it; you can run it directly.
So import statements. The import statement I've been writing, so this is my little bit of code I was poking around with, and this all comes from the deno documents. But I'm creating a little HTTP server here using it, but this was the big thing. I was like, what? And so it's just a URL, which I thought was amazingly cool.
They want to be like, they want to follow the web APIs where possible. And you know that. Well, it would usually be in a script element that we would set the type to module and then import a URL. Then we can actually, without a bundler, we can import an ES module into our application. So it's kind of the same thing here. And they are ES modules and it's TypeScript. And as you can see, we're referring directly to a TypeScript source file.
That's kind of nice.
But there is actually something similar to NPM, because there is a log file and there is a cache, but it's a global cache, not a per project cache. And you can kind of preload your application to make it cache all the dependencies and the dependencies of your dependencies.
Yeah, so it looks like it's doing that for me just looking at this. You can see on my screen, that's a little bit small. Let me make it a bit bigger.
Yeah.
It's showing me when I highlight this URL, it's actually coming from this cache on my own machine. So it's kind of neat.
In the image.
What's that?
The limit. I need to get this one on screen.
Okay.
Limited edition T-shirt.
Oh, Angular in depth.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So that's kind of neat. I don't know. It feels kind of weird to me. It still feels kind of weird to me. So what I did to install deno, I just went through their getting started, and I downloaded and installed deno and added it to my path. So that's all I've done so far. It's kind of interesting that, like, I'm like, I guess I'm just so used to npm. I'm looking for like the node modules folder, but I guess that's kind of what the cache is. The other thing that's bizarre to me is like clicking through on this stuff and like not just going to a d.ts file, like actually going to the source code.
This is an actual source file that is cached somewhere in your computer, right?
Yeah, you can see the path to it up there. But
yes, so you're right. It's not only a d.ts file; it is the actual source file.
I like that a lot.
TypeScript is native to deno.
Yeah,
That's very cool.
it's a weird shift in perspective for me.
But maybe we should start by like discussing what is it actually, and
yeah, let's go with that. Good call. Good call. So you had described 4 parts of deno. Do you want to talk about those a little bit?
Yeah, well, maybe we can start with like just one sentence about the history of deno. It
Sure.
is by I think he's called Ryan Dahl, who was the original creator of Node.js, and he was very infamous for giving a talk at a JavaScript conference where he kind of was dissing Node.js 10 years later and saying my biggest regrets of Node.js, and then he announced deno basically.
I saw that, and the npm folk were in the audience when he did.
Yeah,
that was interesting. But yeah, I got super excited when I saw that, but at the same time I was like, Node's not really going anywhere. So I don't know.
Well, that's what everyone says while their technology fades away.
I know that's true. I feel like now is a great time for deno, like a lot of explosion and a lot of, well, unfortunately, and a lot of hype. The bad parts that come with that, but there's a lot of good parts that can come with that kind of hype too. Just a lot of eyes on it, a lot of enthusiasm.
So 4 parts. So it builds on existing technology and then it adds some stuff. So
yeah,
one part is TypeScript. So it does use the TypeScript compiler, but it adds some of the analysis that it feeds into the TypeScript compiler is a custom implementation at this point using Rust to be more performant. And so that's one part. The other part is the V8 runtime by Google, right? That's used in Chromium browsers. So it also uses that, similar to Node.js. And then it uses an event loop library called Tokyo with an I. So existing technology, and then the 4th part is the Rust programming language. Who did that? Was it Mozilla or was that the R programming language? I can never remember.
I don't know.
So Rust is a pretty high performing language that compiles to C or something like that.
Yeah.
That makes sense here. We want it to be very fast.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of really good things about Rust. I have not touched it, aside from, I guess, from the deno stuff I've done now. But it's the stuff I've heard about it is it's like C but safe. So C, you kind of are operating at a lower level. You're not at like machine code, but you're pretty low level, and because of that, you have kind of access to everything. Similar problems with Node, I guess, that we had discussed, but with Rust, it'll kind of make those things more secure. So you don't just give up access to the entire system.
So you won't be implementing Rust yourself most of the time. You will be writing in TypeScript. Rust is for the underlying APIs.
Okay.
There is actually a way to add your own Rust modules and make them accessible from TypeScript if you want something really high performant. Because, of course, TypeScript will never be very high performing compared to like almost C, or C language.
Right.
So one interesting part is that I mentioned that it uses the V8 engine, like Chrome does, and but a big problem with Node.js, which also uses V8, is that V8 in itself is very secure because it's isolated from the rest of the operating system. But then Node.js goes in and gives it access to a whole system. So that's why NPM is kind of sketchy. You install a ton of thousands of packages, and they basically have access to a whole system.
Yeah. Well, I remember it first came out like maybe a year ago. It felt like there was this rush of like fear, fear because everyone just got in the mode of, just import a package from npm, and we're all just started realizing, what if someone put something in one of those that like they either could start running, crypto mining, or put some malicious stuff on your computer just from installing it. Yeah, kind of scary stuff. But
yeah. So Deno went far at the other end of the scale. Like, it's a secure system by default, and you have to granularly, on a granular level, give it access to certain permissions of your system, like the access to write to the file system as a whole, or ideally just one file. So adding an allow list of files that it can read and write, and adding ports that it can listen to and communicate through, and networking in general, stuff like that.
Yeah, well, just this code right here. So this is some server code I had written, or I hadn't written. I just copied and pasted it. But I noticed if I try to use deno to run my server.ts, I can't because it's trying to do net stuff. And so unless I run it with this allow net flag, it won't run. Which I was like, that's cool. That's cool. So
at least it tells you how to bypass it, but unfortunately it should really be saying allow net equals colon 8000.
Yeah. So right now I'm only wanting to expose port 8000 because that's where I'm going to serve my server from.
Yeah.
If I did allow net, that's kind of allowing it for anything. So I still have the problem if I import some dependency that could be malicious. So, but yeah, that was kind of refreshing to see.
Yeah. So very secure, and I think this might get a lot of traction in terms of serverless, Lambda functions, Azure functions, all of this stuff.
Fire-based functions.
For example, like Azure has Node.js with TypeScript support, but that your scripts basically has access to the whole system, the underlying machine behind your functions. So Deno would be a much more secure solution. I know that I think I heard that Google is kind of doing a lot of going through a lot of hoops to make Node.js secure or something like that, and like Deno is secure out of the box.
Yeah,
you give it permissions to allow it to access anything at all. If you don't give any permission, it can't do any side effects at all on your local system or even on the network.
Makes sense. Well, so Lars, I'm looking at this. I'm getting really excited for Deno. I love TypeScript. I love the idea of things being secure, but I kind of just want to take my my Express server I wrote and dump it in.
Yeah.
I don't think I can do that, right?
No, sorry, you're out of luck. So Deno will actually try to use like a standard web API when possible. So, for example, it will support fetch.
Yes.
Which Node doesn't. And everything like that. It will always see if there's an existing API, even if they think it's a poor API, they will use that as a rule of thumb. But of course, that's not enough. Like, for example, we don't have file reads and stuff like that, and at least not yet in the JavaScript language itself. So of course it needs APIs for that, similar to Node.js. And the unfortunate part is that they are very different from the Node APIs. So no, you can't take your existing Node.js server and run it on Deno. And you will have to find Deno specific packages for basically anything with side effects in it.
Mm-hmm. Anything that's going to use that needs to use the Deno APIs instead of the Node APIs.
Yeah, everything about writing and reading files and communicating through sockets and stuff like that.
Right.
But isomorphic code will run in Deno as well. So Lodash will work isomorphic code. So things that run in the browser and server side. So that's already
that makes sense.
A standard API version.
Stuff like pure functions would make sense. You could just transfer them over.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Well, yeah. Let's see.
So that's kind of the downside of this is we got to start over. We're hoping to see a shift in the ecosystem to expanding the packages available for Deno, and a lot are already available. So it is a growing ecosystem, and I wrote this article just around the time that version 1.0 was released, and when was that? May or something like that. Yeah, it was in May, and now we're at version 1.3, and there's two Zachs on my screen now.
Two Zachs. I had some technical difficulties, so I actually missed what you said for the last few seconds there, Lars. I guess you were still going. So.
I said that this article was released around the time when version 1.0 of Deno was released, and that's when I got really excited. So I wanted to get my first experience with Deno, so I wrote this guide.
Oh, you're talking the one for the CLI there? Let me make sure I get a link in chat so people can see it too. There you go.
You're going through a black hole or something, a portal to another dimension.
There's multiple Zachs, and we're in Deno. There is no node anymore.
Things are moving fast. Now we're at version 1.3, and there's a lot of modules for, say, you want to use a Mongo database. There's a package for that.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, one of the first things that happened was, I think it's the Oak library, which is a very low-level HTTP server library for Deno.
Yeah. So we were looking at this a little bit because we were going to see if we couldn't remake some stuff from my social media app I'd been working on. So Oak, just looking at the API here, this looks a lot like Express. Yes. It was pretty cool. I almost wonder if I can't use some of my request handlers, just bring them over. That might be pretty neat.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely similar to Express. I mean, I'm no expert, but it looks similar to me.
Yeah. Very cool. And so we also won't be able to use the Mongo driver I'm using because I'm sure that depends on the node APIs. So we were looking at there's this Deno Mongo we could use here, and it looks like similar API here too.
Wow.
So cool. Very cool.
So if you want kind of a more NPM style, like import Lodash instead of a URL, there is an emerging standard. It's not standard yet, but there's a proposal called import maps. And I have an example of this in the CLI guide article I did.
Oh, let's see if we can find it.
You can kind of do a mapping so that when your scripts are asking for Lodash, it will fetch it from whatever URL is specified inside of this import map. So again, they're trying to use a web standard instead of inventing their own system. It's not standard yet, as far as I know, but it is a proposal at least. So it's experimental feature, as it says there in the guide, because it's not standard yet.
Right.
It is working.
Very cool.
Yeah. And scroll down a bit, and you can see what that looks like. There we have the folder structure and the import map, the JSON.
Okay.
So, for example, instead of writing all the URLs and the standard library HTTP module, you can just write import from HTTP / whatever.
Mm-hmm. Is this going to be like our new package.json?
Yeah.
Our import map?
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, well, the alternative is you will have URLs all over your code.
All over, yeah.
You would probably start maybe packaging into a single file that exposes the API, and only that single file will reference the HTTP module itself, something like that.
Yeah.
So, it
makes
will
sense.
feel familiar to people like you and me.
Yeah. Well, having like the URL at the top of just the of just the things that use it sounds just problematic. Like there's something about having that package.json in our projects now where it's like I can see, okay, here's all my dependencies in one spot without having to comb through everything. It seems like this would kind of be this would kind of be similar to saying, okay, here's all my dependencies and here's all the URLs they're matched to.
Yeah, so like a package JSON file, except it's URLs. I guess you could do that with GitHub URLs as well, kind of.
Yeah, makes sense. B-Man, how you doing? Nice to see you coming by.
Yeah. He started. Is he? Did he get your permission to make a copycat stream?
He did get my permission, but I saw it. I was like, "That's awesome!" So I was immediately okay with it. But yeah. I'm a fan of BLS. I've been trying to catch them on YouTube when he posts them on there. I think he's going to YouTube now too, because Twitch is. Yeah, he's doing an amazing job. Yeah. Thanks for doing what you're doing, B-Man. Keep that BLS going strong.
Yeah. So as you also mentioned when I started discussing all the introduction and the background story, the deno CLI, like it's a full tool chain in a single file. You get everything, like the runner, the script runner, like the runtime, the REPL. You get the linter, you get a formatter, you get the package manager, you get the test runner. Like it's all in there. Like there's even a types command to output like what APIs is available in your deno.
That's interesting. Can we try running that on my little server? Let's see. I'm curious what this does. So I'm exporting S. So I imagine that's what I'll get types for, right? So I'll say deno types. Is it type or types? Server.ts.
Types.
Oh, thank you. It says wasn't expected.
Refer to the guide. I can't remember the parameters.
Sounds good. Let's go.
It is for my own sake.
Types, options.
The example, yeah.
Okay, really so we got like
a functional guide with simple examples for every command, because it's kind of you have to. The documentation is built in as well, so you have to go through all the help commands to figure out how to use the stuff.
Gotcha. So,
so this one is for the types support, like the APIs available in the deno runtime.
Okay.
It's not for your module. If you want to look for your module, I think you should use deno info, another command.
Okay. Let's see if we can find that one.
If you want a DTS file for the APIs available in your version of deno, then you would use the deno types command. And I think info is for a specific module.
Gotcha. Okay. Let's try that. So we'll say you're saying if I do deno info and then do it on my server.ts, we'll see some stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
That should work.
Okay. So this is my local, my type compiled.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, this looks like all the dependencies it's using. So I dropped in the server and it's giving me like the dependency tree of everything that server needs. So
which one outputs the types? Now I'm kind
of. I would have thought types. I would have thought types. Who knows?
I haven't looked into this since I wrote this article. Months ago. Because now I was thinking it was help, but no, it's not. So, so now I don't know.
Or if I do deno types and then do -- help, what's it going to give me? Deno types, print runtime, TypeScript declarations, deno types.
Okay, well, it's in there somewhere, probably. Anyways, do you want to take the test runner for a spin?
Let's take the test runner for a spin. I was trying something, and we can take a look at that. It's not really a unit test. It's actually like I tried to do like an end-to-end test, kind of. with my spec file here. So I have my server that I expect to just like give hello worlds, and I have my spec. So like I'm importing the server just to make sure it gets instantiated, but I'm actually not inspecting anything on that. I'm just kind of wanting it to get started up so I can then just fetch something from localhost 8000 and make sure I get the hello world. And it's not working right now. So I think I would do deno test, and I would give it the path to this file. So /server spec. And yeah, I'm not giving it the right URI. It's not liking that. I was trying localhost. Does it need the HTTP? I don't know. I don't even know if this is how it's supposed to work.
Probably yes.
Let's try that.
But it like it says you haven't given it permission to use a port.
I'll do it. Let's do allow net.
Yeah, some of the options, like the permission options, can be used with several of the commands.
Oh, was it colon?
Yeah, it was equals colon 8000. So you need an equals after the allow net.
Got it. Like so?
Yes.
Let's see. Connection refused, OS error 61. This is what I think I was seeing before.
Okay.
If I hit this, like this will open it up. Well, it's not working right now because I'm not serving it anymore. But if I were to just run it, let's do that. So let's do deno run. And I don't want to run the spec. I just want to run the server itself. So it'll tell me I'm serving on port 8000, and now there's my hello world. So it's
your server file, though, isn't it like doing an infinite loop?
Yes, let's take a look at that. So server is going to wait for anything on the result of this S. So S is a server, and I dug deep enough to see the server is actually implements an async iterable.
Oh, okay.
So I believe the way it's going to work is requests will be pushed onto the iterable, and I'll be popping them off kind of as they come on.
Yeah.
Is that I think that's the best I can tell. So for each request I get, I'm going to respond as such. That's my understanding. So that's how I'm getting the hello worlds. I'm not sure why.
Like when you import it like that, you're running it on the same thread. So I'm a bit like in Node.js, I would probably use a fork child process or something like that. So I'm thinking whether that's what we need here, but I don't know how to do that in deno yet. But maybe we should keep to unit tests though.
Yeah, let's try doing that. I guess we could just say, if we were here, could we do something like if type of S is not server, throw error? Would that be a good test? I don't know.
It would be so they are you import them from a standard library. That's another thing we didn't discuss, but deno comes with a pretty big standard library for a lot of things, and one of the things is testing. Other things are like the HTTP module and file system access and stuff like that. So we should import from the URL called https deno.land.
Okay.
/std/testing/assert.ts.
Sorry, could you give me that again? It was from
https and deno.land.
Deno.land?
Yeah.
Okay.
/std for standard library /testing /assert.ts. By the way, do we have the deno extension in VS Code?
I do. Yes.
Okay,
It was not a happy. I was not a happy developer until I got that. So without that extension, even just like importing from a URL, it just doesn't like. So,
right. So now it's complaining probably because you don't have the cache for that module yet, because even the standard library is not baked into deno itself.
Kind
of
interesting. Okay, so I think like getting assert equals, that was a thing.
Yeah.
Could I find it locally? Okay, so how's that going to work when I run it the first time? Is it going to automatically add it to the cache?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, let's try that. Let's just try to run it. Oops, I'm still running my server right now. So we'll go to test.
Hash command, but I don't know how to use that with tests. I guess you would just give it the file name of your spec file.
Yeah, let's try that.
Downloading. 404 not found. Okay. So maybe they moved
it. Let's see. Let me just well, let's do it. Let's do it so people can see. We just Google for deno.
Well, we just go to deno land, and there's a link to the standard library. It looks kind of like a GitHub repo. So in the top, what is
I think
that?
we may have found our problem.
Oh, well, I can access it. So
you can. Oh no, what's going on? My DNS.
Yeah,
is it me?
They pulled it from the United States.
Oh my goodness. What's going on?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow.
The universe is fighting back. Well, okay. That's unfortunate. But looking,
know what to do, man.
yeah, me neither. But looking at what we did here, let's at least make sure I got the right idea. So deno saw I wanted to test this with its test runner. It went in and saw, well, he's asking for this URL to get something from a resource I don't have in the cache yet. So I went out and tried to get this assert TS file from deno land. We got that 404, and that's why we're dead in the water right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, at least I know why.
To prevent that, like you don't want your runtime to actually go look up your dependencies at runtime. So you can, well, caching is one thing, but you can actually bundle a deno program into a single JS file with all the dependencies inside of it. So it also has a bundler built in.
Oh, cool.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
Is that part of the CLI too? Is there a bundle? Yep, there it is.
Yes. Oh, you know what? The deno doc, that could actually be the types thing we were looking for earlier. Now that I just saw that in the list.
Oh yeah.
Command.
The deno doc. Let's try that. I guess since we can't do anything else right now.
Oh yeah, that's the types one. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
That should work.
Doc, server.ts. Hey, look at that. That's beautiful. I got my S.
Yeah. But it is pretty cool that you can get the public API of any module.
So I'm a
remote one, not only your own code. You could do it for the HTTP server module.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if we can. Let's find out. So I'm going to copy the URL. And we're just going to do the same exact doc command, but with that URL. Hey, we get that one. I wonder if it's because it's cached, though.
Yeah, that could be very well be the case.
Yeah. It's cool. Let's try doing this. Let's try to see if we can get this one at least.
Yeah, you should be able to put that URL in the browser actually, and it should show up as kind of a Git repo.
Yeah. Let's try that. Copy, and I'll just paste it in the browser. I bet we'll get the same DNS problem. Oh no! Look at it. Oh wait.
Yeah. Okay. So they moved the file. So go to go one folder up, or maybe two.
To asserts here. Is this what we're looking for?
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. Maybe. Well, I don't know what's going on anymore. Is Deno Land? All right, Deno Land's back up. They saw our live stream and they put Deno Land back up for us. Thank you, Deno.
Thank
you. We're back in. We're back in this game, Lars. Let's do this. Okay, let's try running this again. I imagine this will actually pass right now, right? So we'll do that. And now, so up because it was asserts with the S.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Let's try that. There it goes. So it'll even tell me which ones I'm downloading to. So apparently I'll get some colors and diffs. So
nice.
Very cool. So one thing I noticed about the Deno test runner is, so you can assert things, but the tests I saw in the examples were mainly just, I think there was one that was like, let x equals 2 plus 1. That was like the example they used. And then they said, if x is not equal to 3, then we throw an error. So this would be kind of how you'd write the tests, I feel like, right? So
well, you would use an assert equals instead, right?
Okay. Well,
yeah, the assert statements, of course, they just throw an error if your condition is not true. That's what the expectations are all about. Our
right.
Assumptions.
This is using that assert, right? So how did I get over here? So if I were to run this, pass. If I were to run for failed, and cool, let's get some nice information here. Yeah, I kind of missing my line coverage. Is there any concept of that in the test driver? Do you know?
No, not that I'm aware, but could be.
Okay.
But yeah, they really wanted to be a fully integrated solution with everything you need, and this is very interesting indeed. I mean, as we know, as part of the Angular community, that's a huge benefit of Angular is its CLI and the tools that you get, a whole package.
The batteries included approach
here, and CLI tools are back, like they are hot again, and I think one reason is because we're doing so much automation now in our build pipelines and test pipelines and deployments and all of that. So really need our CLI tools.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, so we've got our server. We've done a little bit of unit tests now, and Deno's up. Do we want to try to get Oak in here and see what we can do in the next 20 minutes?
Yeah, let's try that.
Let's try it. I'm going to go into Oak. And this is the Mongo thing, but let's go to Oak server. So I'm going to copy this right here, and we're just going to see how this works. So I'm going to drop this into my server file. That's that not paste? No, let me try grabbing it again. Copy and there we go. Let's just have this so I can be looking at them both at the same time. So my port's fine at 8,000 still, but instead of using, so serve here, I'm just kind of using the HTTP serve, like bare bones against the metal kind of Deno one. So I'm imagining by doing this, so I'm going to say const app equals new application. And I'm going to say app.listen for now to port.
Yeah, it's an object with a port property.
Oh, okay.
And so was it before. So
yeah. Okay. So by doing this, I imagine. Well, I guess let me try running this without the allow net. I'm curious to see because I'm just listening now.
That's the spec file.
Oh shoot! Good call. Thank you. Okay, so I'm getting an error. There's no middleware to process requests. So I guess I do need to use something.
Interesting.
Let's just do like this. This should get us there.
Yeah, but even that, like a simple message handle like that, is what they call a middleware. I don't know if that's the same thing in Express.
Yeah. Well, so by using this,
it will probably accept any URL and just respond with "Hello world."
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Let me make sure I run with the allow net. Net equals :8000. Let's see. I guess I didn't do any console logs. So let's see if we can just hit it. If I go to localhost 8000. There it is.
Ah, nice.
We did it. We made an OCAP.
Secure Oak server.
It's nice and secure. All right, let's see how. Let's go into Oak again. What's something interesting we could do in 15 minutes, Lars? I don't think we can try to do Mongo. Maybe we can try to do like a in-memory stuff.
Yeah, so just any request, probably a GET requests would be the easiest one. What do you need or what do you have in your current API?
Well, I have content posts and users and some like sort of friendship information. We don't have to limit ourselves to just my app though. Maybe we could think of something else. I don't know. I mean, we could do content posts. Why don't we just do that?
Okay, so if we want to do, I thought you meant the post HTTP verb, because what I usually like to do is just do an echo service.
Okay.
So whatever you post to a server, it will respond with the same string or something.
Okay, that sounds good. So let's do that. So we'll say let's keep it all in one file for now. So we'll say constant echo equals, and it looks like to do middleware, maybe we could do like an async. We don't need async, right? We could just say here's a context. And the context is going to return context.request.body.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Probably, yes.
So it's given me some complaint here. I just make this context. I'm actually intrigued. What is the context? So there's the request. So this looks vaguely Express-esque. What does that mean? The hashtag.
The private members.
Okay.
Real private members, not TypeScript private members that are
real
not
private.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's a standard now. We got it in TS 3.8 or 9 or something. We also have it in recent versions of Angular. And we can have like private fields and private methods and even static private fields and methods. I know because I'm writing a book about it, so I've been experimenting a lot with this lately.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay, so this is a true private body. So I can't get the body this way. Is there like a getter that will let me get the body?
Yeah, probably.
I'll find out. Let's see. Well, let's just let IntelliSense drive us.
Right.
we come back here. Well, it's letting me get the body here. So that's a request. I'm just saying return the body from it. I mean, I guess it's letting us do it. So if I were to use this, though, let's say app.use.
Yeah, well, so the names, they don't clash because the hashtag is part of the private member name. So you can have one called body that's a getter and maybe a setter that has a backing field of the hashtag body.
Okay.
So usually we have been using like underscore body to signify that it's a private field that you should not be using outside of it's not a public API. Now we have the actual private ones, and the hashtag symbol is part of the name. So this is just a public getter to access that private field called hashtag body, probably.
Okay, that makes sense. It feels unfortunately Java-esque, but it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
But okay, so what I want to do here really is I want to say we want to just put the response body, set that to the request body.
Right.
Is this kind of what you meant by the echo?
Yes.
I'm gonna have to like open up Postman or something so we can see this. Unless, did you have a better way of sending a post? Could we just curl a post over?
Yeah, you can curl it. I don't know what operating system are you using. You're using Mac.
I'm on Mac.
So probably have to curl.
Okay. Well, we'll figure out how to do that. Is there like a notemon thing for deno? Can we run something where it'll auto refresh for us?
Yeah, there is. I read about it, but I can't remember the name because I haven't really been looking into it lately. But yeah, there is a daemon. No, what's it called? Like a daemon. Something like similar to a daemon.
Is it maybe denomon? That's what I would assume. Hey, look, it is a thing. Oh, never mind. It was a thing maybe at some point. Or maybe just enough people were looking for it that Google was able to crawl it. But
yeah, and what you're looking at there, by the way, is kind of an NPM. So they allow you to post your modules to the /x namespace, and they will kind of host it on their server.
Interesting.
So kind of, but you don't have to use that one. You can still provide your own.
I really like this actually.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, the denon. Yeah.
Denon. Yeah. We found it.
Denon.
So I thought I feel silly for saying this, but I didn't realize that deno was like about dinosaurs. I thought this was a sock puppet for the longest time. I was like, why is it raining on a sock puppet? But last night I kind of realized from all the dinosaur references that it's talking about like a dinosaur kind of stuff. But anyways, let's see. How do we get this working? If we just install, so deno install is the thing. What's deno install do? I'm guessing it's just like npm install, but into the cache.
Like I think it's like caching, warming up the cache.
Yeah. All right. Let me try.
No. You know what? It actually installs it as in your path as a command.
To my path. Interesting.
Yeah, it's very similar to like npm install global.
And that's awesome.
And you can even install your own application. Like you could install it as the sac serve command or ZLS API or something like that. Yeah, so that's also so cool. Part of the CLI.
So it seems like maybe server. If I was looking to put a server into production, I might not use deno yet, just because everything seems to be kind of moving still. But deno seems like really cool for me as someone who really likes TypeScript for like writing a script for myself, and to be able to like do something, have that tool chain around with being able to deno install on like something like that, and just have it in my path at all times. That sounds pretty cool. Anyways, let's try installing deno or denon, and we'll see if we can run our server with denon now. It looks like all we need to do is go like this.
Yes.
Okay. Context implicitly has an any. Oh, it's because I have it saved. Let's try saving and maybe it'll fix itself. Restarting due to changes.
Nice.
I think that worked. Let me try just hitting 8,000 again. Okay. And if I do echo, well, echoes, I need to post to there. So let's try, let me just Google because I don't know. Curl to post. Curl post examples. Sending data. Just an example. Okay, curl post. Okay, let's try this.
An example for you.
Hey, there you go. Thank you, B-Man. How do I copy that? Oh no, I can't get it. I can't get it. Maybe if I go to Twitch, I can grab it. Okay, let's try terminal. Yeah. And I don't know what. Oh, here's we can see me. We can see me messing around with async op iterators over here to make sure I understand it.
So basically, you just need the X post parameter and the data parameter, and then the URL is the main parameter.
Got it.
Because
so
we're not saying it has to be JSON currently in this server. We will just return whatever text body you pass it.
Okay, so if I go to HTTP localhost and go to 8,000 where we're serving and echo.
Yeah, any URL will work. So
yeah,
remove that the data parameter. It should be your message. Okay. Well, I guess it should echo that one as well. But now you're looking into double escaping of double quotes and all that. So just make a simple a simple payload instead.
Well, did you say just use -- message?
No, dash data, and then remove that JSON object because you have to escape it otherwise.
I see.
So just hello SAC or ZLS or something.
Hello Lars. Let's try it.
Oh yeah, you need the the URL is there. What's missing?
Oh, I think this is a problem on our server. Because I'm just saying use echo. How do I need to figure out on Oak how to put that to the echo path. Right.
Oh, okay. You want the path. Okay.
Yeah. So how did they do this? So I'm looking at Oak here. Imagine this is small. Let me try to make this bigger.
Yeah. Well,
so pretty much
before we started, I mentioned the Reno router for deno becomes Reno, and that library basically has some easy way of configuring all your paths, all your routes. I'm sure. I hope that there's a way to do it here as well. If not, you will have to make an if on the request path or something like that.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Path name. The router class produces middleware.
Oh, there's a router with Oak as well. Okay, interesting.
So so I can do. Okay, we have to do like new router, and then we have to use the router in the app, I'm guessing. So let's try this. So we'll say const router equals new router. This is cool. So it just kind of knew it was already in there. I'm still just like kind of in awe of everything going on in here. But if I do router.post now and we say /echo, and then we just use echo.
Yeah.
I think maybe we just need to move this up a little bit.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. There we go. And now app.use context. Well, I guess we can still leave this in, but I also want to app.use in the router. That's not, maybe not.
That will always replace the body. It's a catch-all.
I see. So let's get rid of it. Not today. Still
the
does a
router
lot.
that routes, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And allowed methods, it says as well in the docs.
Yeah.
Router that allowed methods.
So what does this do? Middleware, blah, blah, blah.
Oh,
Interesting. So this, would this let us lock down methods that we don't want to expose? Is that the idea?
yeah, probably rejecting requests with like if we implemented post but not get, probably some stuff like that.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I think with what we see now, we should be able to echo. Let's try curling again. No. Legal format or missing URL.
Yeah, what are all the backslashes?
I don't know.
Do they matter? I think it's usually to prevent a new line from ending the script or something. So just remove the backslashes.
No. It's hanging. It's not actually giving anything back.
Yeah. Did I tell you that cold start is slow? No. Just kidding.
I don't know. Does this need double quotes? I wouldn't think so. Oops.
Do you need a space between the X and the post? Or is that, what do you say, B-man? Is it just like X post in one word? We shouldn't need the content type either, because we're not passing JSON, so that
try getting rid of
might be a
that.
problem as well. We're just passing text. And he's saying leave it as one word. Yeah, okay.
Okay. Try it. Still hanging. Did I not do something right here? I would have expected. So here we're posting echo. Echo will take the context and take the response body. Let's try doing this. Let's try console.log ctx quest. Yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing now, right? If we get rid of data, quest is coming in empty. I wonder, it's like something's, I don't know, something's preventing this from ending, because we see I can see now my request coming in.
Okay.
But I don't see. There's nothing on the body, obviously. Let's try doing that, but leaving the data back in. And do that, my request is, well, I guess that's an empty object, right?
So are we hitting the route? Does it get logged? The console log?
Yes. I can see the console log.
Okay.
Can you see my screen all right, Lars?
Yeah, it's just the lower part is BMAT's message is on top of that.
Oh, let me get rid of that. Sorry. Sorry about that. So yeah, I'm seeing. Let's hit it again. If I hit, you can see the console.log is being fired.
Yeah.
But the request looks empty. Whereas I thought we'd have the data on there.
Yeah.
I don't know. But even without that,
okay, the request is empty. Okay.
I wouldn't think we need to return anything.
No.
Just because. Yeah. Before we weren't returning anything. We were just setting something on the response object, and then just kind of letting Oak, I guess, do its thing.
Yes.
It seems like that's what we're doing here too, but maybe just the request body is because the request body is empty. Let's see.
Yes. Try double quotes around the message.
Sure. Hello, Lars. Oh, dang it.
Oh.
Hurts my bad typing. No. Still coming in empty on the request.
I'm glad we didn't try to do something complicated.
Oh no, we can't even curl right. Let's see. Let's try curl to post with a body.
Oh, maybe add the content type, like text plain.
Oh, let's try that.
I will send it in the private chat here because I don't have access to the Twitch chat except for.
Is it just plain text or?
Yeah,
is it just plain?
text.
Oh, I see it.
Plain. Yeah, like this.
Got it.
And the examples say that X and post should be in 2 words. When I look at other examples,
like so.
yeah, that looks right.
Oh,
no, not a dash. Just a space between X and post. Man,
it doesn't like any of this.
What's going on?
So we want to use this data to define what the body is.
Yes.
And that should be hello, Lars.
I
wonder. Let me try doing request body. Oh, body is a function.
Oh.
What? Oh, because it's a getter?
Maybe not. Try going to the. Oh, it's a function.
Yeah, totally a function. Okay, so how do we set the body? Wait, it wasn't a body over here. I guess it was a.
You just. I mean the request body is a function. The response body is just a string, probably.
I see.
So you call the body, I guess.
Let's see if that'll get us. Yay! Well, we got something.
We go.
Type text.
Virtual high five.
Virtual high five. Well, I'm still not sure if this is a win or not, but because we're not really echoing yet. Let's see. Let's try to get there. Because
the value of the body. Okay. The body seems to have a type as well. Okay.
Yeah, but the value is coming in empty.
Object? What's going on?
That is an object. Yes.
Where's the message?
Wait, value is a promise. Value is a promise. That's why. Okay, so we got to do a wait inside of here. So this is a async. We're figuring it out, Lars. We got this, man. We got this.
Making progress, at least.
Await value. All right. Let's try it. Oh, Lars, we did it!
Here we go. Awesome.
Sweet. So we're over time now, but I had a lot of fun, Lars, learning Deno with you, benefiting from some of the work you put into.
I just want to. You said you wouldn't use it for production. I actually think it's safe.
You think so?
Safe for production. Okay. I mean, the problems will be finding packages you need, but there's a lot out there already. So it's just a matter of learning these new APIs and having to do a bit more yourself.
Okay.
And, even if you're looking for more of a full framework than Oak, they are also out there already. I just don't remember the name right now, but there's some pretty good packages already out there because this project has been ongoing for 2 years or so. So work has been going on for a while.
Very cool. Do you have anything in production with Deno?
No, I don't. But I think the really cool thing is that you basically all you need to run a deno program is a single file, a deno executable, and that comes with everything you need: the runner and the test and the CLI, all that. The whole CLI is just one file. So it would be easy to add support for deno to any server, even it's a function, it's a virtual machine, it's a physical machine. It's just one file if it's not baked in yet, and it probably isn't at this point. But I expect to see at least one cloud provider supporting deno within the next year.
That's awesome.
That's my looking into the, what's it called, like the crystal ball.
The crystal ball, looking into the future. Yeah. So B-Man says there's a bigger risk of having to refactor your code, for instance, once the indoor standards fail. That's kind of what I was thinking. So I think, like, as of right now, it seems like in terms of security, Node is already better than Node. Like, Node has a security problem, right? But yeah, my concerns are more along where B-Man's going. I'd be maybe cautious about trying to invest into something at this point. If it's like a big enterprise thing, I'd be nervous. But yeah, I don't know. I
wouldn't.
You wouldn't? Okay.
No.
Okay. Cool.
I would be perfectly fine with using this, but of course you have to put more effort into it, because you won't find libraries for everything. You will have to do some things yourself.
Okay. That's never stopped me before. But yeah, that makes sense. Cool, man. Anything else you wanna leave us with before we sign off?
No, not really. I mean, visit indep.dev as always.
Yes.
It's currently the only deno article on there, but
I think I saw a second one actually when I was looking for it.
Okay, great.
Yesterday, but yeah, indepth.dev, great resource for anyone trying to learn. Great resource for the community. Lars, again, thank you for everything you do for in-depth and for the community. I've been missing out. I've been looking for more deep dive podcasts, but I haven't seen it. So
I have 2 episodes where I have the guests, and I just need to find a date with them, and they're kind of busy right now. So yeah.
Awesome.
Keep waiting. It'll get there eventually.
Yeah, I'll be looking forward to it. Thanks for coming by and sharing your Angular in-depth shirt, the limited edition. Thanks for there it is, in-depth. No longer just Angular though. But yeah, thanks so much, Lars. I'll catch you all next week. Hope everyone has a great weekend, and take care of yourselves. Bye now.